Hello and welcome to this episode of Hearing Review TV, your all-access pass to all things hearing. I'm Gina Neinmeyer. If you're struggling to find a ride to your hearing assessments, you can sit back and relax because diagnostic hearing assessments may be coming to a location near you. In Greenville, North Carolina at East Carolina University, or ETU, a team of creators have reportedly introduced the first real-time remote hearing assessment that allows interaction between the clinician and patient. According to Dr. Greg Givens, the chairman of the Department of Communications Science, there are people throughout the world who have no access to professional hearing health care. This low-cost development will prove especially encouraging for rural and low-income populations. The National Institutes on Deafness and Other Communications Disorders estimate that a mere 1 in 5 people who could benefit from a hearing aid actually wear one. ETU has teamed up with Otovation, a leading provider of audiometer products, and they are working together to make this low-cost development available as early mid-2011. The good news is this hearing assessment will be suitable for a variety of settings, including nursing homes, schools, hospitals, correctional facilities, and military settings. Today's broadcast is brought to you by ReSound Alera, the world's first truly wireless hearing aid. Better noise reduction, better environmental control, better feedback management, the best sound quality on record. Easy to fit, easy to wear. For more information on Alera, visit www.gnresound.com. Out of Salt Lake City, Otyx Global has announced adoption of the board's proposal to merge with Danish company William Demant Holding after an exciting big numbers bidding war between the Denmark-based GN Store Nord, in which William Demant ultimately prevailed by matching GN's bid at $64.2 million. Since that announcement, William Demant and Otyx Global have received antitrust clearance from the U.S. Federal Trade Commission as expected. In a November 30th press release, William Demant stated, consequently, all conditions in the binding conditional merger agreement between a wholly owned legal entity in the William Demant Group and Otyx Global Inc. are met, and the closing of the transaction is completed today. Otyx stockholders will receive, after closing, a total settlement corresponding to a price of $11.01 per share of stock. And if numbers aren't your thing, how about neuroscience? In Cold Harbor Spring, New York, a team of scientists led by Dr. Anthony Zador, the chair of the neuroscience program at Cold Harbor Laboratory, has come closer to understanding how the hearing center of the brain, which is more formally known as the auditory cortex, initiates responses to sound. The scientists probed how the relationships between distinct neuron populations within the auditory cortex create a map of acoustic space. For those of you watching whose day job isn't neurology, it's important to note that the neuronal organizations in the auditory cortex function differently than those within the brain regions that process inputs like sight and sensation. In the auditory system, the organization in the cochlea, the sound receptors are one-dimensional. The receptors near the outer ear recognize the low-frequency sounds, and the receptors near the inside hear the higher frequency sounds. This low to high distribution is called tonotopy. Zador's team isolated neurons from both the inner and outer cochlea, each to pick up the same frequency. The scientists were surprised to find this was not the case, but rather a dominant input signal didn't come from within the neuron's respective region, but rather from outside it. Catch Dr. Zador and his team's findings online ahead of print in Nature Neuroscience. Meanwhile, in People News, Ontario, Canada's Unitron has announced the appointment of Eric Sumner as Vice President of Sales for Unitron US. And in New Jersey, Oticon has just celebrated the 13th annual Focus on People Awards. Over the past 13 years, the company has brought recognition to over 195 extraordinary people who defy the stigma of hearing loss. This year, the panel selected individuals whose courage, vision, and commitment to changing the perception of what it means to have hearing loss. This year's winners are Jim Detterlein in the adult category, Bill Rogers in the advocacy category, 11-year-old Haley Scott in the student category, and Jacqueline Rogers in the practitioner category. And now, on a more somber note, Hearing Review TV would like to take this moment to celebrate the life of Westone founder Ronald W. Morgan Sr., who passed away on October 4th after a brief illness. Morgan and his wife Mickey started Westone on their kitchen table in 1959. With the help of their 5 sons, the Colorado-based company has gone on to become one of the most highly regarded names in the hearing healthcare industry. Morgan is survived by his wife, his brother Lewis Morgan, and his sons Rusty, Rick, Rod, and Robin. Well, there's no place like home, especially if your home is being featured on ABC's Extreme Makeover Home Edition. Starkey Hearing Foundation teamed up with ABC in a very special episode featuring the Oregon School for the Deaf in Salem, Oregon. The Starkey Hearing Foundation fit more than 500 free hearing aids to students, family members, and staff for the school. The episode, which aired on October 31st, is viewable online at abc.com. Break out your video camera because ReSound Alera is launching its own YouTube contest. ReSound is inviting audiologists to record and submit a short 2-minute video of themselves or one of their patients talking about their experiences with ReSound's newly released Alera wireless hearing aid. The video that received the most views on ReSound YouTube channel will win a trip for 2 to Madrid, Spain or Nassau, Bahamas. For more information on the contest, which ends December 31st, please visit www.gnresound.com. Today's broadcast is brought to you by ReSound Alera, the world's first truly wireless hearing aid. We hope you enjoyed watching and listening to this edition of Hearing Review TV. For more information on these and other stories, please visit hearingreview.com.